dude.
Dude, is that a Game Boy?
Yes, dude. Dude, it also comes with Tetris.
Whoa!
Talk about a way to escape reality for a while. The annual comic convention offered plenty of out-of-this-world excitement, including far-out comic books, souvenirs, and even futuristic-looking Star Wars computer games. Many were there just to expand their comic book collections, while others were there just to gaze at the galaxy of characters on hand.
Some of them are weird, some of them are pretty nice, and I'm just pretty serious about it. I don't go around putting crazy get-ups on and coming down here like some people do, but if that's what they want to do, that's fine.
One.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Zenitsu.
What got you hooked into playing this character?
Look, we've been watching this for so long. Like literally the very single person. So, what is it, why you like it?
I think it's beautifully made. It has an incredible storyline, and I love anime in general. So it's beautifully animated, I guess. Yeah.
She loves the art.
Yeah, I love the art. I saw it. Yeah.
She's an amazing artist, and she literally draws it.
Discovered your love of this series, watching together. What other films or TV shows have you both enjoyed watching together?
What's your favorite one? What's this? Black Clover? Black Clover is really good. Yeah. We like that.
Today, nerd culture dominates Hollywood and the internet. But for those who grew up before it was mainstream, being a nerd wasn't always celebrated.
Hello, my name is Ebony Nicole, aka EB1 Cosplay, and I'm here to answer some questions about what it is to be 30 plus and nerdy.
Hello, my name is Steven. I am 31 years old, and I'm a nerd.
Well, back in my day, oh, I feel so old for saying that. Just kidding. But seriously, when it comes to being nerdy, I say that I was interested in all of it, but more specifically, I have the terms of nerd, geek, dork. I had all those terms thrown at me at a very young age, but back then I believe that I was called those terms to be more academically versus what we see in the media today, which could be deemed as more like, fanatic wise. But if we want to talk about the things that I enjoyed as a kid, I would say that I enjoyed pretty much a lot of things that were art-based. I enjoyed music history in general, wrestling, as you can see, anime, cartoons. I enjoyed a lot of nerd culture back then.
When I was a kid, what made me feel like a weeb was definitely anime, the video games, and comics.
For me, it was definitely gaming. I hyper fixated about gaming and the gaming world to the point where I annoyed quite a few people. Normally in life and in back in high school, it's kind of the same, where there's like three responses. There's like bad, neutral, and good. Bad, it's the okay, time to, you're now the other because you're the nerd of the group. Let's just dunk on you. We have the neutral where it's like, oh, okay. And they kind of just either engage or not engage. They're neutral, which I prefer at worst. But at best, what happens is you find someone else that is into games or gaming, and you start having a conversation about what makes certain games good or what makes certain games bad, or hey, we play the same games. Why is this game good? Why is that game bad? It depends on what we like, and that's how I made a good amount of friends back in high school because of that.
I say I can got embraced with it because I was different. I drew and I was a class clown, so I knew how to deflect all the negative stuff that was coming my way and make it positive.
I honestly can't remember. it was almost it was oof, it was almost more than 20 years ago. But what I can remember is finding my own community. Albeit, when it pertained to certain ones like wrestling or anime or video games, the community might have been small, but it was a community nonetheless. And I had plenty of peers, plenty of friendships, um, a lot of things to do in my childhood that was nerdy. So I I think they reacted the same way that I reacted to my nerdiness. I just had fun with it and I was just being me. And I guess they were just being them.
I didn't have to hide my hobbies because I had my crew. And back then in the early 90s and 2000s, we was about crews, tagging crews, breakdancing crews. So it was none of that.
In retrospect, I should have, but I'm glad I didn't. Um, so is there a story I remember? Actually, because I remember quite a few people were going out of their way, making my life miserable back in high school. The fact that I was a nerd, but it's high school. People do that, and if you're the other, that's just what happens. That's the social meta. I should have just toned it down a bit, so I could have survived. But I painted a target on my back, and so it is what it is. I'll tell you a positive story though. There was one time, pretty much back. It's weird how they have a story. I just don't remember because it's kind of hard to play games where I went to. Actually, I did. Pretty much my friend at the time kind of encouraged me to get in shape, and how we got in shape was we pretty much said, okay, we'll talk about video games as we do our run, and that's what got me in shape ish back in high school. So I remember talking about that. At the time, it was Modern Warfare 3. And we're talking like, is this game going to be any good? Is it not going to be any good? This thing in the game is good. This game in the aspect of the game is bad. The maps are great. The guns are good. X, Y, and Z. And we nerded about that as we were running 2 straight miles, which I enjoyed back in the day.
No. No, I didn't have to hide any of my hobbies. Like I said before, I was very fortunate enough to find different communities that helped me, foster, relationships and deepen my love for the different fandoms that I enjoyed, be it art, wrestling, music. Um, no, I didn't have to hide anything at all. And even to this day, I still don't. I am very much myself, sometimes to the detriment of myself.
The the guy who hyperfixates on the nerdy stuff will make you a nerd, and that was me because I love the gaming world and just these new, beautiful, awesome games that are coming out interested me and made me want to invest in the future of gaming. Excuse me. And at the time, I was definitely the nerd stereotype because I was just as nerdy as quite a few people.
The stereotype of a nerd slash weed back then was to stay away, and that was super super weird. But it kept the wrong people away from you and the right people with you.
Uh, Again, I think the term nerd was used more academically back in my day versus the way that it's used now. So, growing up, I was in all the honors classes, AP classes, MCJ or OTC. Whenever that term was thrown at me, it wasn't because of the fandoms that I loved. It was more so due to the fact of me enjoying school and being studious.
Being a weed made my friendships in school life great. I had an outlet back then, and thank God for anime.
Yes, it did. As I said earlier, there was a social meta. I should have played it. I didn't know what the social meta was because I pretty much I realize this now. I have the tism, and when you realize you have autism, it's hard for me to adapt to different situations. And at the time, I moved like a school like once every semester, and adjusting to the that social meta was quite difficult for me. And pretty much it went to the I just go whole hog and being 100% of myself. Should I have toned it down to 75? In retrospect, yeah, but I know that now. I didn't know that then. So how did it affect my friendships or my social life in school? Social life, I was early game, or like pretty much when I first got there, I was bullied quite a bit. But in the late stage of high school, I really wasn't bullied. When I was a senior, I just did my own thing and everyone respected it. And the funny part about that was more people respected me like on my senior year of high school because I was myself. And I feel like that is I feel like just being authentically yourself was what helped me get a lot of friendships in and for my social life in high school back in the day. And did I have making friends that are nerdy? Yes. I know quite a few good people that were nerdy back in school, or at worst, nerd adjacent. And people who weren't, I just had just reasonable working relationships with them, especially when we had to do projects and nonsense like that.
Absolutely not. It did not. Even whenever I would get people calling me weird or odd, again, I still have my community and we were as what's the term, thick as thieves. I had a lot of good friends that enjoyed a lot of the same things that I enjoyed. So no, I didn't feel like my life or my childhood was lacking whatsoever. I believe my social life was great. It was awesome. I was on the drill team, I was on the rifle team, I was an MCJ or OTC. I wasn't in band. I didn't have enough money for band, but that's neither here nor there. But I did a lot in my childhood, um, as a nerd that I'm very very proud of. So no, I being a nerd didn't affect me whatsoever. If anything, it made it better.
I started noticing that the culture had shift was like the late 2000s.
Looking back, it was probably when Avengers 1 came out back in 2011, 20, I think it came out in 2012, 2011, 2012. What ended because what happened was the Avengers was such a big box office hit. People started realizing that, okay, the nerd culture is now going to be popular. And another aspect to nerd culture being popular was definitely the Big Bang Theory popping off, because they made four nerdy characters and they humanized them in one way or another. Sheldon, even though he was annoying, he was probably the nerd stereotype, kind of like me, where I would hyperfixate to the point where annoying people around me because I hyperfixate on certain aspects of a certain game or just a game in general.
I believe the culture started to shift between 2005 and 2007, 2008. That's when I started to see the shift of nerd culture, of it uh, going from studious behavior between being that smart weird person to that person that is fanatic over media, whether that is cosplay, whether that is wrestling, whether that is anime. I feel like that shift for me started around between like 2005, 2007, 2008ish. It was around 2006, late 2006, whenever I was introduced to cosplay. I have been watching wrestling all my life, uh, but I didn't put the two together until about 2006, 2007, whenever I went to my first multimedia convention. And you can probably guess what that convention was. My very first convention was Dragon Con. My very first convention was Dragon Con. And I was able to participate in it because of my love for wrestling. I was there as a wrestler, so I went to Dragon Con because I was I was working at Dragon Con wrestling. And after the show was over, uh, there was nothing else to do but to walk around the hotels. What we didn't know was that there was also the convention going on at the same time. And that's when my eyes opened up to so many more fandoms in this world than just wrestling or certain types of anime and art. It was anything you can think of was there. Anything you can think of was a fandom, and it was great. I would say that it felt great at first, but then, but then after a while, it was a little. I'm not sure how to describe it. The same people that were calling me odd and weird when in my younger years were now telling me that what I was doing was cool, and it was a complete 180. So now these same people are asking me to make them costumes, make them cosplays. They're asking me advice and things like that. So it's definitely different.
I felt great because I'm a big kid in a man body, and now I got man money to buy all my kid stuff, as you see, and more that's all around this place in my man cave.
No. And I'll tell you why. I love Magic. That game has saved my life in quite a few ways. And I'm not even being hyperbolic about this. And seeing other people play the game and enjoy the game as much as I have, I think is a wonderful thing. And if you come into my LGS and you're brand new, let me repeat that. If you enter my LGS, I hope you come back. Because I love this game and I hope you do too. And when I see the game grow, I get quite happy. especially when people start coming in when like the Lord of the Rings set came out, people enjoyed that. The Final Fantasy set came out, people are entering the game because of that. In fact, my favorite rapper, Denzel Curry, is now into the game because of it. Or he was playing the game earlier. I don't know. I'm not Denzel Curry, nor his PR team, nor his friend, so I don't know anything about it. It just means that I have a certain list of hobbies that I enjoy, and that's it. Pretty much like all of the high school pretty much the high school shame of being a nerd has fallen off since becoming an adult, because I don't interact with people that are prejudiced against that. And if they are, that's not my problem. They're not firing me because I'm a nerd. They're not mistreating me because I'm a nerd, and they're not harassing me because I'm a nerd. Because I see these people for 8 hours a day, and I go home and I do my thing. And if these people do hate me because of that, I can leave and go find a new job. It's not the end of the world for me. And so, as an adult, it's a lot better being a nerd than being being a child as a nerd. And does it impact your dating life? I don't think it does. You just gotta find your people.
What it means to me now, escapism, bonding, understanding, empathy, if that makes sense.
Being a nerd to me means to be authentically me, genuine, unapologetically me. That's what it means to be a nerd to me today. Absolutely. I think it is amazing how something that was considered uncool, or how something that was hidden, can now be celebrated for what it is. And I can't wait to see the continued growth. I can't wait to see how far the community goes. And I can't wait to see the recognition that the community will get from growing.
Ish. I'm happy in one way for more people to enjoy the games that I love. I don't feel proud of how other companies see us as another way to make money. And I rather that be like make cool stuff for us to enjoy, not exploit their customer base just for more money. Call of Duty. What? I didn't say anything.
I am glad that it came this far because we have a lot of upgrades, a lot of new stuff that's coming out there. So I really embrace that, and I'm glad that it did blow up the way it did, and you had other creators come up with all these new ideals, and I just think it's great.
No, I do not think that it's lost its meaning. I think it's evolved into something better. I believe that nerdiness used to be something that people would judge you for, um, because you loved it so much. But now it's about passion. It's about community, and I think that's a positive thing. I believe that uh, nerdiness is definitely evolving. I don't think it's losing anything.
No, it has not lost a single bit of meaning. Do you know why? Because I openly admit to everyone I work with that I play Magic the Gathering. And guess what? I am the nerdiest one that works at my job. And it has not lost its meaning at all. Because I hyperfixate on cardboard while everyone else just kind of looks at me and goes, oh, okay, that's cool. So I don't think it has lost a single bit of meaning. Because I don't think everyone's a nerd. I think specific people are nerds. Because when, let's say, gaming is more accepted thanks to mobile phones, are they a nerd? Not really, because they just play the game that everybody else is playing. Like, is it because if you play like the Call of Duty that is now socially accepted, but if you play Balatro, it's not. It's people are like, oh, okay, what game's all about? They'll learn to talk about. They want to learn about that, or they don't care. Either way, but doesn't really make them a nerd. If I'm gonna put that in quotation marks. I feel like being nerdy though means like you are invested into whatever you're interested in, like in computer science or the lore of insert book series, or hey, how can I make this stack of cardboard insanely hard to beat against other stacks of cardboard. I feel like it's just intent of what people are like how deep people are in the tank of their chosen hobby.
I think you haven't lost anything. I just think it's just getting better and better. Besides some of the hate.
I'm happy for them because I take don't take enjoyment of seeing other people get hurt. Like there are people who see like Jackass and they just laugh at one guy got smacked in the cojones, and I never found that funny. Other people do, it is what it is. But if other people are living if children are having good childhoods for being nerdy, because we are now raising them now, I hope they have a happy and fun childhood. So, for in conclusion to that question, I like it. I'm happy for them, and I hope they have fun.
It really don't bother me. I'm just happy that everybody can have it and it can be shared.
I absolutely love seeing younger generations uh, enjoying their nerdiness and getting their nerd on. Uh, it makes me so happy um, to think that the things that I once got teased for, I didn't really think it was teasing back in the day, but it's teasing. But, to think that the things that I got teased for, uh, the younger generations are now like fully embracing it. It feels like it's full circle. But unfortunately, with so much popularity, there comes some downsides to nerdiness, the nerd culture evolving and growing. We have gatekeeping, we have commercialization of nerdiness. Like as far as the gatekeeping goes, unfortunately, you have to deal with certain things like racism, sexism. Um, I'm starting to find that I have to deal with ageism because I'm almost 40. So there's definitely those aspects that one has to worry about. And when it comes to the commercialization of nerdiness, that's another drawback to nerdiness becoming so popular. um, you find that some of these companies are just jumping on, considering nerdiness to be a trend, and they're just jumping on seeing it as just another fad that's just passing through. Whereas for some of us, it's not a phase, mom, it's not a phase. But even with all of that, I believe that with nerdiness evolving and it being wider accepted, I think that is the most positive thing at all of all. Most positive thing of all.
Um, Gatekeeping, I hate gatekeeping so much because I want as much people as possible to play Magic the Gathering, and I want as many people as possible to enjoy games, despite what I said earlier. Does it make you nerdy, the fact that you play Candy Crush? Nah, I don't think so. But are you having fun doing it? I hope so. I mean, you're spending a lot of time and money playing Candy Crush. I hope you're having fun. Same with Call of Duty. Same with every sports game. Same with Apex Legends or any other game, of that matter. I just hope you're having fun. That's all that I really think about. And when I hear stories of people walking into a local game store for the first time and then some asshole gatekeeps them out of the format or gatekeeps them out of the game, I find that incredibly infuriating, and I dislike that quite a bit.
Only thing I think of that's the downside is people trying to gatekeep and try to make characters their own nationality when it's not that, or just trying to claim it like it's theirs when it's everybody's.
The right people will like you for who you are. And if the people don't like, not everyone's gonna like you. In fact, a lot of people are not gonna like you. However, you find your people who are just as nerdy and weird as you are, and you're gonna find out that life is a lot more fun than you think it can be.
Say keep on doing it, and never give up.
I would tell young Ebony, I would tell young Ebony to be weirder. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I would say continue being you. Continue enjoying the different things that you enjoy. Continue enjoying your fandoms. Continue enjoying the nerdy things that make you you. I would tell the younger generation, the younger kids, to continue doing things that make them different. Um, it's what makes them special. Lean into those things that you love, because that'll take you to places you never thought you'd be able to go. They'll take you to people you never thought that you'd be able to meet. Trust me, I know. Whoever thought that this weird kid from South Carolina would be able to, you know, be a wrestler, or, make gear for wrestlers, or just, there's so many things that I have done in my life because I was a nerd. So many fun and exciting things that I have been able to experience and accomplish because I allowed myself to be a nerd and I allowed myself to be weird. So stay weird, kids.
I will just say, find your people. Because there are people out there that are just as nerdy as you are. They either are they at your school? Great. If they're not at your school, I recommend you try to see if you can find other people that are within your neighborhood or within your local community that is just as nerdy as you are. If see if you have any D&D groups around. See if you have any board game nights. See if you have anything that can any like nerd stuff that's happening like in your region. Like, is there a Renaissance fair? Is there D&D night? Is there a board game night? Heck, is there like a Magic the Gathering group that's happening at a library? I heard that happening a few times. There are a variety of ways for nerds like me and nerds like you to make friends and have a social life and still be yourself. You just have to work and find them. And tell you what, some of them might be at your school. You never know.
Don't let that stop you from being you. Embrace being you, because a lot of people don't know how to be themselves. There's a lot of fakeness going on, really.
Being a nerd simply means you're passionate. Being a nerd simply means you're just passionate. Are you passionate about a video game? Are you passionate about video games in general? Are you passionate about geology or history or computers or anything of that, anything that's people define as nerdy? You're passionate about that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being passionate about something. In fact, I commend you on it. And there's absolutely positively nothing wrong with being passionate about something that you love.
To me, today, it means a lot because it taught me how to be a father, how to be a friend, and just how to be myself, my identical self, authentic self. I'm sorry.
Being a nerd to me means celebrating what you love unapologetically and finding joy in sharing that passion with others. That's what it means to me.
For the generation who grew up hiding their passions, the story has come full circle. Being a nerd isn't about popularity, it's about passion, community, and never letting go of the things that make you feel alive. And maybe, just maybe, it was always cool, the world just needed time to realize it.